I think.
Hey, Eric, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear.
Um, at the very top of the chat, I put a link to our PTA website, and
Yeah, I've got a link for that here in just a minute until when we get
okay.
everyone into that. Yeah.
I was just wanted to give a shout out to the QR code and membership, etc. But I'll let you run with that.
No, that's perfect. I love that you change your image to that. I'm very happy.
All in
the nerdy world that we are in.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna stop sharing this because I got a lot of fun stuff to share. Great. Okay, so first off, right off the bat, welcome to the official start of the September 9th meeting for this year's 2021-2022 PTA extravaganza. So just a quick reminder, we are recording this meeting and we are broadcasting it live onto YouTube, which means that anyone else who can't join us tonight gets an opportunity to take a look at it later. If you are joining us and you get the opportunity, please put your name in the chat. That is your roll call. It'll help Kat. As Nat just mentioned, I'll post it again here. If you're not a member, it'd be great to have you as a member. We will be doing a vote today. So if you want to be a member and you're not, there is a link in the chat, but also Nat's, I'm gonna pin his image. If you take your phone and scan that QR code, it'll take you right to the website as well. It's super easy. It takes a really quick second to sign up for the PTA, and then you just have to pay the $15. By doing that, you get a couple things. One, you are an official member of the PTA. Two, you get a vote. You get a say in what goes on. And three, all those funds go to help other cool things, not just the school itself, but beyond. But like I said, we will be voting later tonight. So if you are not a PTA member and you want to be, that's the way to take care of it at this time. I'm going to put a few other fun things in the chat that we'll go over. Some of them are slightly important and some of them are less important. First one I'm putting in right now is our standing rules. If you wanted to take a look at it, we'll be confirming that they're the same rules we've had for a while. There's nothing really changed on them. Let's see, what else do I have? I've got tonight's meeting agenda if you'd like to take a look at it. What else do we need? Oh, we will be looking, no, I'll just be able to pull this up. If you want to take a look at our contract for our yearbook, there it is as well. We're going to talk about that shortly as well. Let's see, is there any other documents that you all needed? Oh, Michelle, do you have a easy document on the on our budget?
Let me download one and I can put it in the chat.
Awesome. Magnificent. So we'll put that in there as well. Great. I have a live document up since I know Kat can't stay the whole time. I've got our agenda meeting and I'll take over in notes and halfway whenever she has to leave. But why don't I pull that up so you can all see it at the very least and see what our plan is for this evening. A little maneuvering on my screen here. Great. So basic overall, just a quick overview of everything. We don't have any minutes to accept from the last meeting. We're good to go. We're starting fresh. We'll go over some of the notes and recording and so on, some dates. I'll have a quick word about just the overall expectations of the year. We're going to go right into our reports. I know a few people have to leave a little early, so we may change the order of this just a little bit. And then we have some new business. And then the next meeting, and fingers crossed we're out of here by 6:30. 6:45 is kind of the ideal endpoint. It's my one pride point as a PTA president, is to get us out at a reasonable time. I don't want to keep anybody longer, especially on a time like this where it's kind of at that sweet spot in dinner. So first off, let's see. We are doing these live because we cannot be in person. So we'll be presenting these live as an open Zoom. I will mention now, and I'll probably mention again, this Zoom link that you use will be the Zoom link for all of our Zoom meetings for as long as we have to do our Zoom meetings. Hopefully we'll be back in person, but the reality is I didn't want to make a different Zoom link every time. So you can save this one and know that this is the one we'll use every time. We'll, of course, also be posting that out every time we're getting up for our next meetings as well. They are live. They are also broadcast live to make this easier for anyone who wants to join afterward and watch it. It will be on our YouTube page at COPPTA President. It's our YouTube page. It's going to have all of our meetings pretty straightforward stuff. Just be aware you're live. Let's see, upcoming dates. We've got next Wednesday, the 15th, we have a professional development day, which is an early release day. September 23rd is curriculum night. September 28th is picture day. I know it's already happening. And September 29th is another early release day. And then we have some fun things happening in October. I left them out for that. A few things that we need to do right off the bat. This gets a little bit tricky just the way it works out here, is voting. One of the things we have to vote on is the standing rules. Let's see. I'm just reading a little bit note. It was sent to me. There you go. All right, so we were wrong, and Elizabeth was totally right. This is brand mine. So November 30th, not October 30th. So if you paid your dues last year, you are currently a member until November 30th. So congratulations. You don't have to sign up now, but I'm not going to say no to sign up now. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to have to vote to approve our standing rules for this year, which means we get a fun way to do that. We can, and I'm going to let the gallery sort of explain this a little more if we want. We can either raise hands, but I know a lot of people are not on view. You can say yes, I, yay in the chat, or there's the fun option that you can do the little hand raise, which is just one little extra level of actually, I'm not gonna say hand raise. Let's do thumbs up. Will be a yes if you want to do that. So, yeah, I think that's. Any objections to that? Does that work for people? That's a lot of options. It's a weird concept, I know. Cool, thumbs up. Go, awesome. So yeah, thanks, Sam. Yeah, so feel free to use the emoji. Feel free to use your hand. Feel free to verbally say out loud, "Yay," yes, or such. And then if you want to, you can also type it in the chat. But we're going to vote on approving the standing rules. In which case, is that something we need? I don't think we need to call that. I don't think anyone needs to say or. Okay. Mary, were you going to chime in on that?
No, I just didn't know if we needed an official motion or.
Yeah, I feel like that one we don't, because
Okay.
it's on the board. Let's say, but you know what? Why not? Do we have anyone who'd like the motion for vote?
Oh, I'll motion.
Oh, okay, so Mary motions for a vote. Is there a second from anybody?
I'll second. This is Kat.
Fantastic. Kat is seconding the vote. So we're going to call the vote to approve our standing rules for the year. All in favor? Aye, yay, yeses. Fingers, so forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 9 at least. 10, 11. All right, they're slowly bunkering in. Love it. And then any opposed? Oh, I probably should have said you can type the word no. You can say no, thumbs down, or the crying emoji. Great. I see 0 on that. Unless they show up here in a second. Therefore, vote passes and our standing rules still continue. Magnificent. We'll get to the budget one here in a little bit as well for that fun stuff. Just a quick word for me about the expectations of the year and our meetings. I would love for us to be in person. I'm so happy all of you are here via Zoom. We're going to get back in some way in person at some point, I'm sure of it. Until then, though, we're going to do our best to have our meetings every single month, if not more if we need them. But the plan right now is that the second Thursday of every month, we'll be doing our meetings. We, just so you're aware, our expectations financially, we didn't spend a lot of money, but we did spend a good amount last year. We are not in a place that we are worried in that sense. We are thankfully, we budgeted quite nicely in the past as the PTA, so we have a nice set of funds in our coffers. That being said, we did not do a lot of our major fundraisers, which means we didn't take in a lot of money. Because of that, I just want to make sure that we as a membership are aware. My desire as president is to not go crazy with our funds this year. I do want us to do a lot. I want us to get back into doing a lot of things. We have a few fundraising opportunities that we're going to bring back. We're sort of supplementing our auction just a little bit that we missed last year. But real answer is I don't want to be miserly and I don't want to be exceptionally frugal. So that being said, I've already had 5 things brought to me, and we just started school yesterday, and different projects that are asking for funds. And I love them all. They're wonderful. They are about, expanding our community, creating safe environments, and so on. We do have some protocols we do need to follow. I can't just approve things willy-nilly. If we have an emergency, we absolutely can get together as a board to do an emergency vote. But I want to remind the membership, emergencies are emergencies. We're talking health emergencies, safety emergencies, and so on. Everything else, we do have to do it in an order of sorts. That does require, presenting a program, approving it, finding funds for it, all of which are totally doable, all of which I would love to be able to make happen. I just want to remind us, there's a lot that we can and can't do, and there's an even more amount that we have no idea what we can do. Because of that, just that gentle, sweet reminder from sweet young me to take that breath every once in a while and just know that even if we have some things that are really exciting we want to get done, we're going to do the best we can to make them happen. If we cannot get the approval before the event, maybe we do the event, we work and look at the approval afterward. But definitely open communication with all that stuff. You're all wonderful. I'm excited for the stuff we've already done. We've done some really cool projects already. I'm even more excited for the hope of what we can do in the future. Yeah, you're all great. Yeah, that's all I really had to say about any of that stuff. Let's move straight on to getting some reports from some people. I want to get, I know I'm going to skip Meg just for a moment. I know you're going to go first, but I want to actually go right to Amanda for the yearbook, because I know that she may or may not be able to stay on. Are you good at this moment, Amanda? You're still muted.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So I'll pass it over to you then, and I'll pull up the contract for the yearbook.
Sure. So I was just informed this week that we have our new contract for 2021 for our yearbook, or 21-22. And normally we don't do that right now, but we are going to, they're going to change how it's sold this year, the yearbook. And so if we could approve it tonight, that would be great. And I looked it over real quick. It looks about the same as last year. And thank you for pulling that up.
Yeah, if you weren't aware, we've had some unique issues in the past with our yearbook. We had some yearbooks that didn't turn out so wonderful, but we were guaranteed a contract for this year, or for last year. We have not received those yearbooks, if I'm correct yet. Is that correct?
No, they're at the school.
They're at the school. Okay. So we will have to arrange getting those yearbooks out.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that the seams are good, because I know that we had that issue before with the seams.
Cool. And then you mentioned there's a reason for us to wanting to approve this.
Yes. So typically the yearbooks are sold separately, towards the end of the year, they need to be in by April, but now they want to do it, piggyback it on the top of the picture packages during picture day. And Scott, our rep, said that would really boost sales, which would be really good. And a lot easier for selling.
Totally. I love the idea. Are there any questions about this yearbook contract and so on? Mary?
I'm just curious if it was a 1 year or 2 year contract, because in the past I think it was 2 years at a time. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Elizabeth,
this one's currently set for 1 year.
Okay, I was just curious.
Right here at the top here. So we'd be done next June. Let's scroll down here for anyone who wants to see the lower info. Any other questions or comments? Awesome. Well then, any objections to it being approved? Great. Then we'll just say yes to that right off the bat. That's not something we need to vote on unless there's objections to it. Great. So we'll approve that. Check mark. We are streaming through it. Well, let's then move over. Thanks so much, Amanda. You're awesome. And a huge thank you to Amanda, by the way. She last 2 years was the VP and was vice president for the PTA last year during all the chaos and from afar. So, personal thank you to that. I also probably shouldn't be a jerk, and I should probably mention that we have other people on the board, not just myself. Just real quickly, so I'm our PTA president, but Nat, who currently looks like a QR code, is our vice president this year. Michelle is our phenomenal treasurer, and Kat is our secretary. Oh, there's Nat's hand. Perfect. I love it. Great. But and all the email addresses are currently the same, but you can also reach out to any one of us at any time through the website. Nat's been working on a new email address too, potentially, which is awesome. Anyway, I will stretch it over to Meg for the principal's report.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Eric. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all, and thanks for coming tonight. I will make my principal report brief, and I'm happy to answer any questions as well. So first of all, we did it. We got all kids in school all at the same time, and we plan on having everybody there 5 days a week. And it could not have happened without every single one of you, your families, your support, just all the things. I don't know, for those of you who are even there at dismissal yesterday and were there at dismissal today, it went from a little bit rough to very, very smooth. So we are making progress every single day as well, which is really exciting as we settle into lots of new, never done before routines. We are fully and wonderfully staffed. Cedaroak has grown so much that in the fall of 2019, we had 12 classroom teachers and then 2 preschools. Now we have 15 classroom teachers and 1 preschool. So when I say classroom teachers, I mean teachers who are leading classrooms. So we are growing, and we have grown by at least 60 students in the last 2 years, which is very uncommon during a pandemic. Most schools are either inching towards their 2019 enrollment or are quite a bit lower. So we have retained a lot of students, and a lot of people have moved in too. So that's really, really exciting. And we are fully staffed right now, which is great. So far, the last 2 days, arrival and dismissal have improved. And if you can just spread the word about processes and procedures. Our buses don't leave campus until right before 2:15. And so you can't pick up 2nd through 5th grade until after the buses leave, unless they come around the corner, which is a little bit hard to do. So K and 1 students can get picked up before the buses drive away. But for the most part, 2nd through 5th graders really can't get picked up in the car until the buses drive away, and then the teachers bring them out and cars can come up around the front. So if you have more than 1 student, you could wait, or you could pick up your kindergarten 1st grader, go find a parking spot, then walk over to parent pickup, walk in, pick up, or you could pull into a parking spot and then pull back out. Today, everybody was out of the parking lot by 2:28. So
I was the last one.
yes, and it was pretty quick. It was much more how we hoped it would be. Although that being said, yesterday it was 2:30, so it wasn't too much faster, but it was just much smoother. And I think the secret is that we just go nice and slow, and by going nice and slow, everything gets done really efficiently and calmly. And so if you know families who are picking up their kiddos, just let them know to just be patient and watch for the adults in the parking lot to give them directions, and we'll get everybody tucked into the car and the bus they need to go into. We're living into lots of new routines, not only with arrival and dismissal, but with just everything. Lunch is a little bit different. Snacks are a little bit different. Classroom procedures are different than they were in hybrid learning, and certainly different than they were if students were online last year or somewhere else. So we're really leaning into a lot of new processes and procedures. a big shout out to so many of you because our courtyard looks so much better than it did a week ago. So thank you. It looks great. And the head of maintenance said to me, we are getting rid of that dirt pile. Every time I see him, before I can say anything, he looks at me and he says, that dirt pile is on my to-do list, which is the dirt pile in the courtyard. So it's on their list. This morning, you could hear the new HVAC, the ventilation kicking in. You could hear it and you could feel it, which was fantastic. And in the next couple of days, they're doing some final welding once kids are off campus and which staff is off campus to turn the on switch on for air conditioning in grades 2 through 5 in those classrooms. So we're getting really close with our construction bond project. We are planning for our curriculum night to be virtual at this point. Other schools are canceling any gatherings that have been planned in the early fall that are on campus, outdoors events like movie nights and things like that. Those are being canceled for the time being. So I don't think we have anything on the calendar officially. I think we were sort of playing the waiting game and seeing what was going to happen. And it turns out those things aren't really an option right now. So we are all just tucked in and moving along. There has been some directive about this first week from the state, about this first week being, we're definitely working on academics and kids have been through a lot. Kids are coming from all different places and experiences and really building classroom communities so that kids feel safe and secure to learn. I think you will notice when you are able to go into classrooms that most teachers have some kind of poster in their classroom that says, we are better together or you belong here. One of our themes this year is belonging and learning. So we want all students to feel welcomed, want all students to really feel like they belong in their classroom community. And we will work very hard to ensure that every child feels that way. And when you feel like you belong, your brain is in a much better place to learn. So that's where we are.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And huge thank you to you and all the staff. That's a lot of craziness leading up to it. And I know that a lot of us were very eager to know even just who our students were going to get to be paired with this year. And the world made it more difficult, but that's awesome though. I love it. And one of the cool things is with a growing community, it means we got more PTA members. Hopefully.
I guess I'd like to add one more thing, which is I just really want to thank all of you for leading the community and being patient in terms of placement. I know you all know that if we could have sent out placement a minute before we did, we absolutely would have. And it wasn't a matter of being disorganized or not being planful. It was really needing to wait for some final numbers with enrollment and all of that. And the second we could do it, we literally did. We hit the send button. So I really thank you all for your patience and for your leadership in leading the community and being patient in that process. That's not what we would want, how we would want it to happen. And yet it was all okay. So thank you all. And if you can just encourage people, if they're feeling like I haven't heard anything, the first question I would ask is, are you on the listserv? That's really important. And if they're not, they're missing all sorts of things. And if they don't have computer access or phone access, they can call our office any day and we will tell them everything they need to know. So if there is anything that comes up, where people are like, I just don't feel like I know anything, ask them about the listserv and then also encourage them to just call the office. We've got all the information and we're eager to share it if you feel like you don't have it.
And you mentioned if they don't have phone service, can they come by and check in with the office as well in person?
Yes, absolutely. Please stop by.
Fantastic.
Meg, how many classroom teachers do we have again? Because I know that there was some shuffling and the reason why I'm asking is because I'm also looking at the budget and I want to make sure that we have enough classroom teachers budgeted for all however many we're at now.
Yeah, we have 15 total for K-5. And then we have a preschool teacher, and then we have several of their certified staff that I think you usually do budget for as well. We have 2 learning specialists. We have our teacher, librarian, music, PE. There's probably more. So if you
those
need
are
any of
accounted
that,
for. I was
Okay.
just looking at the classroom support.
yeah.
To make sure that those
If I
are all
remember
there.
correctly, and we'll go over this in a second, but when we did that section, we did take in mind that we may be making some changes, but we think we kept the right numbers. The teachers, the names and numbers might be wrong on the sheet, but Liz, take a look, and if that's wrong, we'll do some math.
Yeah,
It's
we're
totally good.
short. We've got 12 classroom teachers on there, not 15.
Did you get the page above it? Okay, cool. I'm going to pass this over to, I'm going to pull up the agenda here, not the agenda, but the next part, which is the treasurer and our budget. Make sure the right one. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 counselor, special ed 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 total counting. And we need how many, Meg?
We need 15 for K through 5. And right now, just looking at K through 5, we have 12.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think it's closer to 21. It's the
Okay.
number of people between between music, PE, library, learning specialists, and so on. I
So,
think it's about 21.
I think the music and PE is separate. I think we have those
Okay.
in a different location. Here's what we do. Michelle, do you want to just do a quick overview of this stuff? In at least the main sections, and then we as a group here will discuss what we do as far as teacher support.
Yeah, I just got that list, last week, so I have not updated the little initials on all the classrooms, and we will definitely add what we need to on here. Just going over, we really didn't change a whole lot from the prior year. I think we may have taken out items that, we knew that it was likely that we weren't going to be able to have them, like the fall event. We knew it wasn't going to be a fundraising item. It was more going to be fun, and if we would be, we really were unsure when we planned this if we would even have anything. And as things are looking, we probably won't. So we may be able to move that money into a different category or just save it for next year. Hopefully once, winter comes along and spring, we'll be in a better position, but we'll see. I'm being called, they're looking for me. But
You
yeah,
have to go,
no, we're good. Like I said, we didn't change a whole lot. We really just rolled last year's budget into this year. Our goal is to grow the PTA this year. We did not increase our income for membership, but I think that's all of our PTA duties, is to grow the membership and get the community involved. But yeah, that's where things stand right now. So if you were involved with the PTA last year, it's probably going to look very similar, but we will need to add those extra classroom support, and also be prepared. I'm in a meeting right now, just a minute. And also be prepared to just add extra support if needed, like we did last year. We upped the classroom support from $250 to $350.
Yeah, so some small changes to be aware of that are not the usual, because we didn't do the auction last year. We don't have that funds coming in, but we've decided we might do a mobile auction or a little pop-up auction with a hypothetical of maybe around 10,000 we can get for it. We may do that twice throughout the year, maybe one spot in the year, maybe online entirely. Just sort of a hopeful sort of scenario there.
Yeah, Eric, I think the hope was that this new platform that you
Yeah.
talked, the new PTA platform would maybe have an option for us to hold an auction virtually. So if that is
Fingers
possible,
crossed.
that would be amazing.
Get more information on that super soon. Let's see. The question was, what was our membership last year? I don't think that's on the budget itself specifically. Does anyone have?
Are you looking for membership? I'm sorry. What
Yeah.
was the question?
What was our number of members we had last year?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. But it was, let me look really quick.
I mean, if that 850, 840, that's what, 70? 70-ish, 56 people. If this, so we had income. That's what we budgeted for.
And Michelle or Eric, are we actually starting out with 40 grand in the bank, or is that sort of,
Yes.
Is that an accurate placeholder? I guess
Yes.
that's my question.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's an accurate number. Yeah, thankfully, we as a, if you're not aware, we as a budget and PTA are higher than most, and we are able to thankfully have some extra funds in case of emergencies, much like we literally had last year. So congratulations, us. Well done, all of you. Yeah, so I guess the only thing that we would hypothetically change, which we were aware of changing anyway, is these expenses here. So we do have a couple programs, like the music program and the wellness program has their 250 here in the school support. What we'll do is we'll just make small adjustments to make sure that we cover in this section here, section 8, teacher support, that we make sure we get all the teachers and staff that we need to cover for that. So that will be the one update that we'll make to this this moment here. What we did that Michelle mentioned is we average about 250. We did last year, halfway through the school year, decide to up that again because of the additional support needed. Maybe it's going to be not an issue this year. We do have the funds to move up a little bit more if we need to, but at the moment, the plan is keep it as it is and hope we don't have to do any changes. So the one change we'd make, an amendment to this, is that we would make sure this teacher support was accurately showing all the teachers we need to support. So that number will change just a little bit. And if
I just looked up the member number, and it was well, if the Google form is accurate, it was 23.
Okay.
So.
Yep, we could do so much better than that this year.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
So much.
It's gonna be phenomenal.
We already have quite a few. I think we already have 20. So
see, we're already way past that in our brains. Are there any other questions, comments, concerns about the budget?
Of course. I wasn't sure if you guys got an insurance quote yet. Depending on if you have or have not, you may want to budget just a little bit higher, because it is so annoying to be like $5 off and have to wait to come back to the group to get an approval. So that would just be depending on where you're at on receiving a quote, or what the quote was last year.
Yeah, I think based on the quote we had last year, I think we're still high.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just trying to save you a headache.
You're totally right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the insurance last year was, I think it was 500.
We're at 650.
We increased it.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions, comments, concerns, opinions? So on. Check chat. Share there. Cool. Okay. Well, if nothing else, then we do have to technically to be clear, we did already vote on this from last year's membership into approving it for this year, but it is protocol to do it once more. So as a lovely group of people, again, if you've got the ability to vote, I guess we should probably have somebody motion for this to be a vote as well, even though it's on the board.
I'll motion that we approve the
Fantastic. Is there a second from
budget
anybody?
with the amendment of increasing the number of classroom teachers to match our current number of classroom teachers.
Well said. Any seconds?
I second.
And who said I don't know who that was. Oh, good, Michelle. Okay. Fantastic. Well, then we shall vote on it. So voting on approving the budget, as Liz just mentioned, with, of course, the amendments to adjust for the school, educator, and staff support. All in favor? Aye. In the lovely fashionable ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, at least. Fantastic. Any opposed? Wonderful. Surprise, surprise. It passes. Great. Let's get into some budget, some of the committees, the groupings. We'll start with let's see, art literacy. I can tell you, I don't think anyone else is here for that except me. And the reality is we didn't get to do much last year. The hope is that we get to do something this year, even if I create some content that we pre-record or we do it live via Zoom or something. We'll figure something out. That'll be obviously we're not in a rush for that, but it'd be great to have that back. Communications is our social media. I don't think Sharon's here. No. I will say, we'll go over this at the end. Somebody, Sharon's done it for 6 years, and she would like a break on our social media. You do not have to do it alone. I will certainly help you with it, and I know more people will as well, but someone by the end of this meeting we'd love to have take over as a lead for the social media and communications committee. Dine Out program, we've been sort of switching that more to the Order Out program. We'll get more to that later on. We had a little bit last year, but not much. We'd like to get a little early start on it this year, especially as now things are reopening. We don't have to support the different communities. Let's go with garden. Actually, no. How are you? Good, Alyssa? You still good timing wise? All right, great. Let's do garden next because we had some fun things happen. So Megan.
Well, good. The two of us are working together on what we're doing, so I'll start and
Even better.
finish. Thank you everybody who came to our work party that we had that Helena from Crest had put on the week before school. Those who maybe have seen the garden over the summer, I don't know if you knew that all of that material was dropped. All those weeds were dropped by Helena with a weed eater. And then we came the night before and kind of blocked all of that, those beds out to help smother what was growing there. So super excited we've been able to get back. What we're planning on for this year, I'm going to have a meeting with Helena here soon and hoping maybe she can come to our next PTA meeting. But she is working on curriculum to work directly with the teachers as we weren't able to have a garden coordinator this year to figure out just ways to get teachers out into those outdoor classroom areas that we've created. So I'm quite excited about what she's doing, especially since we're obviously still in the time we are. But we are offering, obviously extending out the invitation to everybody is how can we help and what can we do to keep that area usable for the teachers and the kids since they're a little bit more isolated in their classrooms. So once we get a little bit more connected with her, I didn't want to bug her too much while she's been working at all the schools to get their gardens at least walkable and usable. We'll be coming back with an update about what Crest is going to be doing and how we can support the efforts there and keep the garden going. I'll go to Alicia, let her talk about, we're going to have a joint meeting here soon, hopefully.
Yes, we just want to, welcome everyone back. We're so excited because, while we still can't be in the building, there are things that we still can do to, beautify the campus and get our gardens and get our weeds and do some sustainability recycling projects. And what we wanted to say is, first of all, thank you, Emily, so much for putting together that beautifying the courtyard. It was really amazing. Thanks so much for doing that so last minute. That was great. And so we wanted to put it out there that we're going to do a garden sustainability committee meeting. Most likely, it sounds like with the way everything is going on Zoom, but if you can mark your calendars or let everyone know if they're interested in doing anything of that nature to come to that meeting on Monday, September 27th. And we can talk details and learn more about what the garden and sustainability committees are going to want to do this year. And a lot of it too is just we're at the ready when we do get permission to do certain things. So thank you.
You want to use this Zoom link for that?
Maybe, yeah, I'll get in touch with you.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
That'd be September 27th, you said, yes?
Yep, I believe. So thank you.
Great. And I did forget to mention in my earlier thing, that's one thing I want to make sure. We've had this issue in the past because we have such great ideas and amazing ideas and wonderful thoughts and desires and hopes and dreams for things we can do at the school. If you have those, yes, let's absolutely do them. But a lot of the conversations as far as details of them often will fall in the committees. So they aren't necessarily always for this meeting where we talk details on the dance. We more set that aside for the separate meetings. We've got a little out of hand sometimes, but I just wanted to remind everybody for that. Great. That covers sustainability and garden. We got yearbook. Hospitality, we don't necessarily fully have somebody at the moment for that. We can't really do much of the hospitality stuff directly. Unless we've got somebody. I know we can potentially be doing some stuff here very shortly for our lovely educating staff, their end. Membership, do we have anyone here from membership? I think much. We may need to, just FYI, we might need to make some people step up and join some of these committees. Spiritware, Liz, do you have all the stuff still at your house? Just out here?
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
I do. It's all in my garage. I organized it, and I even wrote what sizes I have. And this is all stuff that's left over from pre-pandemic timing. So it's definitely not enough for sort of a full push of making it available to everyone. While I have the stuff, I don't necessarily need to own Spiritware this year. So if somebody is really passionate about that, that's okay. I am willing to let you have it. But yes, the physical items are currently in my garage.
Fantastic. And they, if anyone does hop up for Spiritware, your stuff doesn't have to be in your garage. Just to put that out there. We have a space on campus that we can return stuff to. There will be some changes with Spiritware. Hopefully this new PTA portal that we're supposedly getting as a state that supposedly test ran last year kind of, but really didn't, is supposed to have literally a store for Spiritware and stuff like that. So I'm going to find out more about it, and hopefully we'll be able to actually create content that people can get and order their own materials and their own hats, shirts, and so on. I've been told many different things. I don't believe any of them yet. But yeah, we'll figure out a way to get more Spiritware because we missed a whole year of it for the most part. Let's see, is there any other committees that I'm missing? Membership committee, we'll work on that. No? What will happen, and yeah, Kat just reminded me for this. I'm actually going to send out follow-up. We'll send out a form, a Google form that has a full list of committees and just a real easy, hey, here's where I'm at. I want to maybe be a part of this. Or I have this really cool idea. So make it really easy that anyone can be a part. And then from there, at least for now, I'll connect everybody. Supposedly this PTA portal has that ability, very, very similar to Discord if you've used it, where you have actual groupings. And then if you want to do sustainability, you go to that group and all the conversations are there. That's what I've been told. Whether it happens or not, we'll get to find out. But yes, we'll have an opportunity. So no one has to necessarily step up tonight. I probably should have said that about social media. But if you want to step up at any time, you're always welcome. Great. Well, let's move over then. Let's make sure I'll see what's going on here. That covers anything, unless there's any other committee I missed. No, we have them buried in there, though not a lot's been going on quite yet. You know, there's a lot of really fun events we get to do in the next couple months. Usually, they're all a lot of maybes. We'll see what we can make happen, and we'll continue being in communication about them. Some desires for next year. We sort of talked about this already with teacher support. We're at a point we want to support our educators and staff as best as possible. At this moment, we'll probably stick with what we have. If things change, though, we did it last year where we changed that number for those that needed it, and we will, as a membership, decide that. Fundraising, I'd love to do some awesome fun. Oh, sorry, Michelle, you have something? Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question. I was looking through the many binders, treasure binders, and I found a like a letter that was sent to the teachers. I can't remember what year, that basically just said like, this is the amount of funds you have. What was this? I mean, should we do the same thing? Is it better to do that in email? Meg, what do you think?
You know, I get questions about it all year. And so I think if there is a message with like links to where to submit your receipts and things like that, I think teachers would love that, because I think if they hear it from you rather than me, it's like, it's official. And
Okay.
I think that, you know, they hear it from me and they understand it, but if they hear it from you, then it all comes together in one place, and I'm not in the middle. So I think hearing directly
Okay.
would be great.
Okay, yeah, I'll put something together.
And that form you used last year, Michelle, that you created, was sound like it worked great for the most part. Is that right?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
okay.
Teachers submitted and very easily, and it was great.
Wonderful. Maybe we'll keep encouraging them to stay on top of the ball on that one.
Yeah.
Fundraising, like I said, I'd love to be able to do a lot of fundraising. We have some cool options that we can still do virtually. We have, you know, students on site and on campus. There are ways to make some of the other cool fundraisers that we've done as a school still happen, just more maybe in an individual or classroom base. So we'll look at more of these, but this is kind of a big one. Sorry, what was that? Anyway, yeah, the whole point is this is kind of a big one. We did miss out on this last year. To be honest, if we get $0 short of membership in, we are okay as a PTA and as our budget goes. We don't want that. We'd like to be able to support and continue to support our everything. But this would be sort of the major priority we want to have for the next year. Same thing with membership. We were a little low last year, but we're all back, which means that there's an opportunity for us to get more people involved. A reminder, you can sign up for the PTA. You can sign up anybody you like for the PTA, but if they want to be on the PTA as a member, they have to pay that $15 as well per whoever signs up. But they each one would get a vote in that case. It's kind of fun. So you got your grandparents in another state. They're more than welcome to be a part. Nobody has to attend a meeting. We have a minimum, but you don't have to attend a meeting to participate as a member of PTA. You can participate with your dollars if you like. We do want to also kind of boost this a little bit. And I put this as a question about what does it look like, but the reality is community outreach and connection was really difficult last year. We just couldn't be in the same place. This year, we've had some cool moments where we've been able to get a little bit, right? We've had 2 awesome different garden parties outside. We got to the kindergarten and first grade incoming families this year with some events. We have a lot of opportunities. I just want to keep this idea as a general thought and question. What can we do as a PTA to make sure that we don't leave people out? We find a way to connect, even if we have to keep doing it like this. We did a Zoom dance party last year, and that was one little tiny bit of wonderful that had a connection. I want to make that 20 times better. So just things to be thinking about for our next year, whether that shows up now or shows up 6 months from now. New project proposals. We definitely have them. I guess we technically the courtyard work. Emily, are you still here? I wonder. I don't have everyone on my list. I know there was
before we move on to that, can I ask a question?
You can ask a question. What's up?
Are we doing auction at all this year?
Great question. I love that you asked it. We did cover it just a little bit ago. But the answer is yes, and no. And just, you know, all this being recorded and broadcast, so you can check it out and catch back up. But reality is we're yes and no in on it. We're both doing an auction, potentially virtually and online. We're not doing our full auction. No, that was last year's thing. We're just gonna put it as a wash. But yeah, is Em still here?
No, I don't think she's here.
No. Okay, fair enough. Then she'll bring it up. We'll have a little official proposal for it because we do want to support the awesome work that was done in the courtyard. I told to go ahead with the project and Michelle with the project, and we would talk about funds and support afterward.
Yeah, we actually didn't spend anything
Oh, well then that solves that issue.
Stafford Nursery donated some lavender, and then somebody in the community just donated a $50 gift card to Owls, and Owls gave me $30 to spend as well. So everything was covered. We didn't spend anything, and hoping to just get in there. I think there's a Megan, you might know more, but every month we're supposed to be, is it every month? We're supposed to have a group of parents that are going to meet up and pull some weeds.
To do weeding.
So that we don't have to get Roundup sprayed. And then hopefully we can tackle the courtyard a little bit more.
And I also told Emily we didn't have, I wasn't able to get there in advance. So I definitely work with her on plants and things that would help make it so it's low maintenance for us and for the maintenance crew out there too. I just couldn't get there in time. So I'd be happy to help her with that too and see what we can provide.
Yeah, yeah. We ended up, I just went to Owls and told me, give me your best pollinator, low maintenance, drought tolerant plants. And that's what they gave me. So it worked out, but it'd be great to get more stuff in there, and we'll definitely put a proposal together if we do need funds in the future.
Love it. Yeah, and like I said, those are things we'll get more notifications out there, but this is a great opportunity for those committees that are going to start building to do more and more of those awesome events. I do have on here that we have a yearbook pickup. We need to at some point coordinate that. We'll get together with Amanda and discuss yearbook as to how we can get their yearbooks to them, whether that's a send home in the classroom or whether we put up a station they can come by someday. And a reminder, social media, I do want someone to step up as a lead on social media. But again, we don't have to do that tonight. You can always email me if you're interested, and we'll go from there, and we'll just have a nice little social media community for that. Any other potential new business just off the bat from that? Magnificent. Well, then the next thing that you should all definitely know is October 14th, 5:30 to 6:45 via Zoom. Unless things change drastically, we'll still be here on the lovely digital world. Yeah, I feel like that covers absolutely everything. It is 6:28, which means I'm 2 minutes early. And really, I'm even like 20 minutes early almost. So any final questions, thoughts, feelings, opinions? Awesome. Well, then officially, thank you all so much. And we'll call this meeting to a close. And
Thanks, Eric.
yeah, thank you.